Hello, gorgeous people. How are you doing today? My name is Georges, and welcome back to a new episode of the TV review. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've checked out my first review of House of Dragons. I posted my first review, which was a recap of season 1 and 2. So please check that out. I usually don't do TV reactions. I usually do music. But you know what? I really enjoyed this show. So please do check it out. It's a good time. I don't know if the logic is logicking in any of those reviews, but I'm having a good time on all these reviews, and I encourage you to come over and have a good time with me. All right. So today what we're doing is I'm finally reviewing episode 1 of season 3, episode 1, which premiered last Sunday on HBO. And so that's what we're going to do. First of all, let's first go through a quick recap of the family tree, because y'all know this family is complicated as fuck. So we have to start by setting the baseline first. All right, so at the head of the family tree we have King Viserys, right? He's the old nigga that died and whose family is causing all this trouble, right? King Viserys was originally married to his first wife called Aemma. Their first daughter is called Rhaenyra, but then Aemma died while giving birth to her son, who also died during the birthing process, right? So that's the first part of the family tree. The second part of the family tree is Viserys and Alicent, because remember, after his first wife died, Viserys remarries to Alicent, who was actually Rhaenyra's friend, so who was like the friend of his daughter. So he remarries to Alicent, and him and Alicent have 3 kids called Aegon, Aemond, and Helena. Okay, so that's the second part of the family tree. Let's talk about the third part, the third cluster of the family tree that we need to understand. We need to understand Rhaenys. Rhaenys was actually the older sister of Viserys, right? But because she was a girl, she couldn't be queen, she couldn't be heir, so that's why Viserys became king. Rhaenys was the older sister of Viserys, I think, and then Rhaenys got married to this black guy called Corlys, and that's how black people got in the family, basically. And Corlys is basically head of the army and at sea, and she's head of the navy, head of the army that goes to sea. I think they're called the navy, I don't know. But basically, Rhaenys married Corlys, and they have 2 kids called Laenor and Laena. Now let's go back to Rhaenyra, who is the first daughter of Viserys. Ends up getting married to Laenor, who is technically her cousin. But House of Dragons, they got hella incest in here. They don't give a fuck who is brother or cousin. They just all get married and fuck. I don't get it. But Rhaenyra gets married to Laenor, right? And they have together, quote unquote, they have 3 kids: Jacaerys, Lucerys, and Joffrey. But we all know that the reality is Laenor was actually gay as fuck, so he actually never fucked Rhaenyra. So them 3 kids are actually kids from some other guy that Rhaenyra was out here fucking. You know what I mean? But technically, in the hierarchy of the family, we consider those 3 kids to be the kids of Laenor and Rhaenyra, even though we know they're not Laenor's kids at all. Laenor ends up running away somewhere, because he just wanted to go be out there living his gay life, so he ran away to some mountain to live his gay life. Laena ends up getting married to Daemon. Now, who's Daemon? Daemon is the younger brother of Viserys. So Viserys has 2 siblings, technically, Rhaenys and Daemon. Daemon ends up getting married to Laena, who is technically his niece. I know. I'm sorry. The way this family is set up, I don't know who approved this show, but why did they have to have so much incest in this show? I don't get it. But Daemon and Laena have 2 girls called Rhaena and Baela. The other thing that I mentioned in my season 2 recap is that Rhaenyra at some point starts fucking her uncle Daemon. So Daemon was fucking a lot of his nieces. He got married to Laena, who is technically his niece, but he also was fucking Rhaenyra, who was at that time supposed to be heir to her father, Viserys. And so in addition to Rhaenyra's 3 legitimate kids, she also got 2 other kids that she had with Daemon called Aegon, Aegon, just like the other Aegon Targaryen and Viserys Targaryen. So we got a lot of Aegon. So keeping track, we got 2 Aegons already, we got 2 Viserys already. Viserys is the name of the father, is the name of the main first father who dies really early in season 1. Viserys is also the name of the 5th child of Rhaenyra. There's also an Aegon Targaryen who is the son of Alicent If you ever confused, come back to this shit, because this is what we need to look at. Jacaerys is actually married, okay? And Jacaerys, and you know this family is incest central, so of course Jacaerys is married to one of his cousins. So who's Jacaerys married to? Jacaerys is married to Baela. Remember, Baela is the son of Laena and Daemon, right? And Jacaerys is married to her. And because they're all part of the same ancestral ass family, all of them got dragon power, so all of them can ride dragons. So now let's get to actually talking about episode 1 of season 3, because this shit got heated really, really, really quickly. At the end of season 2, Rhaenyra and Alicent end up having this heart-to-heart where Alicent realizes that basically she had misheard what Viserys had said, and that her kids are actually not legitimate heirs to the throne, right? So after that discussion, Alicent actually agrees to help Rhaenyra take back her throne from her own kids. So she tells Rhaenyra, I'm going to ensure that my sons are out of King's Landing, and you can just come back and take back the city and take back the throne. So Rhaenyra then is back in her palace telling her council that she's had this discussion with Alicent and she's preparing to go back to King's Landing to take over the whole shit. So she's explaining that to all the people in her council. Her son Jacaerys, who is in my mind the most annoying ass nigga in the whole fucking show. Keep in mind, I'm on Rhaenyra's side, but her son Jacaerys is the most annoying motherfucker I've ever met. Jacaerys is mad as fuck because he's like, this is a trap. So Rhaenyra is explaining to the council and her son that actually, okay, I made this agreement with Alicent. I'm about to go to King's Landing, take over. She's gonna take her kids out, and then whoever is left, I'm gonna kill them and take the throne back. We good. Let's just get ready and go take back the throne. Jacaerys is like, this sounds like a trap. I don't want you to go. Here's my take. Jacaerys is just trying to be interesting. He's just annoying. Okay. Maybe he's got a point, but he's not doing this whole shit because he got a point. He's just an annoying kid. So Jacaerys is like strongly opposed to his mom trusting Alicent and going back to King's Landing. Right. In the meantime, back at King's Landing, you remember Aegon had been injured during that first battle, and he was kind of like all burnt up. He decides to actually flee King's Landing because he realizes that his brother Aemond is the one who tried to kill him. So because he flees King's Landing, his brother, who was already kind of managing the whole kingdom because Aegon was sick, he's now officially king because like technically Aegon has left and he's kind of abdicated. While they're fleeing, they get captured by some troops, and those armed forces that captured them actually happen to be loyal to Rhaenyra. We don't know what's gonna happen there, but basically the only reason he admits to being Aegon is because they're about to get killed, and they were like, okay, maybe you can use me to get some money from Rhaenyra later on. Don't kill me now, just know that I'm actually Aegon. So that storyline is to be continued. We don't know what's gonna happen with Aegon, but we know he got captured. Okay, so that's for Aegon. Aemond and his mother are still at King's Landing, and the whole time Alicent had promised to get everybody out of the house. So Alicent is doing her big one, trying to convince Aemond to also leave King's Landing. She can't tell him that she wants him to leave because she had made this agreement with Rhaenyra, because she knows deep down Alicent knows all her sons are crazy as fuck. So she can't tell them the truth and be like, you actually are not a legitimate heir. Let's just let Rhaenyra come here and take her throne. So she's telling him, oh, we want you to be secure. You should go to this old castle and just hide there for a second because this shit's getting crazy with all them dragons. Just go hide. But Aemond is just being stubborn as fuck, and he doesn't want to leave. You know, he's just an annoying, ratchet ass, ugly ass motherfucker. Rhaenyra is now preparing to leave. She's preparing to take her troops and go to King's Landing, and in order to prepare for that, she has to have ground troops and troops at sea surround the island of King's Landing. So she asks Corlys. Corlys is her captain, but remember, Corlys is also the guy who had married her auntie Rhaenys. Corlys was married to Rhaenys, but he also happens to be captain of the seas. So Rhaenyra sends a message to Corlys, get ready to surround King's Landing because I'm about to come in and take over. All right, bitch. She tells him basically, baby, we're ready to attack. We're ready to come back. I've made this agreement with Allison. Just go there and get ready to surround that place so I can fly in with my dragon, and you on land. I'm be in the air, and we gonna take over. So she sends that message. Corlys is like, bet. So Corlys takes all his ships and they're marching toward King's Landing. He in his head is like, okay, Rhaenyra is gonna come through the air. I'm gonna come through the sea. He's getting ready. What Corlys doesn't know is he's about to be in a big ass battle on the sea because there are also troops that are there to protect King's Landing. There are troops that are loyal to Aegon and Aemond, who are loyal to basically Alicent's side, who don't know that all this agreement has happened. So those troops are out here and ready to fight Corlys as he's preparing to come over and surround King's Landing. And so that's going to create a big ass battle, which is kind of like the main centerpiece of this episode. So Corlys is getting ready. So he's like, his troops are at sea, are going toward King's Landing, when he realizes, and when someone informs him that, yo, there are actually a bunch of ships that are actually surrounding us as we are coming through. So Corlys is coming into King's Landing hoping to surround King's Landing, but then he realizes that there are actually other boats behind him that are about to sandwich his ass and fuck him up. Corlys is like master of the seas. He knows all the routes. He knows how to manage the boats like a motherfucker. So he's like, I know how to get out of this. There's this little route out here with a lot of rocks that big boats can't get through. I know we got a big boat, but there's like this little passage over here. Let's just go through this passage. You hear what I mean? Let's go through this passage with shallow ass water with our big ass boat, and we know that that the people who are following us, who are trying to fight us, are gonna try to follow us, and we're gonna make it through this passage. They're gonna try to get through the passage behind us, but they're not gonna be able to get through because the water are shallow as fuck, and we all got big ass boats. But the assistant captain to Corlys is like, what you mean? Our boats are big as fuck too, so we can't get through this passage. This shit is tight. Okay, tighter than the fresh. Let me take that out. No. Anyway, so he's like, so the Corlys' assistant is like, what do you mean we have to get through this tight ass passage? We got big boats. We're gonna crash too. And we got hella people on the boat, so the boat is even weighing down, so it has even more chances of like hitting the bottom rocks and like basically crumbling. The army that is behind Corlys, and basically is trying to sandwich him and kill all of them, is controlled by this woman captain known as Abigail. Now, Abigail is not one to play with, okay? She looks like Athena. She looks like a bitch you don't want to fight with, okay? Whoever's married to Abigail, you better not fuck with her, because she looks like she knows how to run shit. So Abigail is controlling the army behind Corlys, who's basically trying to sandwich his ass and kill him. So Corlys is like, nah, we gotta get through this passage. Abigail and her people are gonna try to follow us, but they're not gonna be able to get through the passage. But I'm a good ass ship rider, so I know how to whip this bitch and get us through this passage. So Corlys' assistant is trying to get the ship through the passage, but it's really tight. They got rocks everywhere, and it's hard to get through. And Corlys is like, move out the way, nigga, and takes the boat, whips that shit out, and just like gets the boat like just right. And keep in mind, they got hella people on that boat, so it's like really heavy, but he's able to like manage his way into those shallow ass waters and get through the passage. And when they get through the passage, they're like, yeah, we made it. Abigail is gonna try to follow us through that passage, but they got hella people on their big ass boats too. They're gonna crash in the passage. We don't gotta worry about it. So Abigail and her people are behind, and they're about to get through the passage too. They're looking at this passage, and it's tight as hell, and they're like, this, and Abigail's assistant is like, this is tight as fuck. We can't get through this shit. We should just stop here. And Abigail's like, nah, bitch, let's just go through the passage. Abigail is like a brute force motherfucker. She doesn't give a fuck. She's like, we're gonna get through the passage. So they're forcing through that small ass passage with your big ass boats with hella people in there. And the boat is already scratching the rocks a little bit. And Abigail's assistant is like, this is hard. We're not gonna be able to get through. So Abigail is like, we're gonna get through no matter what, bitch. I don't give a fuck. So what Abigail decides to do is, because the boat is big and there are a lot of people on it, she realizes that she just needs to reduce the weight of the boat. so it floats a little easily and doesn't hit the rocks at the bottom. So what does Abigail do? Abigail just decides to start pushing motherfuckers off the boat. She says, I'm gonna get through this passage one way or another. So she realizes the easiest way to get through is just reduce the weight of the boat by pushing niggas off. So Abigail pushes hell of her own people off the boat, but that helps her just enough to be able to get through the passage. Carlos had already gone through the passage, and he thinks he's made it, and he's fucked up Abigail and her people. Carlos' assistant looks back and he's like, nigga, she made it through the passage, we're fucked. And Carlos looks back and Abigail and all her people made it through the passage. And Abigail got hella people compared to Carlos. Abigail's troops is like 10 times the number of troops that Carlos has. So also Abigail's boats are a lot lighter because remember, she pushed hella niggas off. So they're just flying toward Carlos. They're like rowing faster and faster toward Carlos, and like they're starting to kill a lot of Carlos's troops. So let's pause there on the battle at sea, right? And let's go back a little bit to what is happening at Rhaenyra's house, right? Rhaenyra and her son. Remember, Rhaenyra was there and her son was acting like a bitch, telling her not to go because he thinks this is all a scheme. Alicent is setting up to kill Rhaenyra, so he's trying to convince his mom not to go, and his mom is like, fuck you, you're a child, bitch, get the fuck out of my face, I'm about to go. And she's going into a room to kind of wear her battle armor and get ready to go to King's Landing. She gets into the room and her son closes the door behind her and basically orders a guard to not let his mama out. The disrespect. I said, you know this is a white family, and that's how you know that guy didn't have a single drop of black blood in him. He would have never disrespected his mother like that. I was so mad, you know, because the reality is, yes, Rhaenyra was about to go into a battle and might have been injured or some shit, but this motherfucker is locking his own mama in a room so she can't go to the battle that his mama has set up. Let the bitch be the queen she's supposed to be. No, he's locking his mama up. Basically, Jacaerys has this main character syndrome, and he thinks, okay, if this is gonna happen, I'm going to be the one to go save her. So Jacaerys locks his mama in the room and gets on his dragon with his wife to go fight. So he's basically saying, if someone dies, I'ma die, and you, because it's all main character syndrome for him, in my opinion. He's just going because he wants to be the one to save shit. I hate that motherfucker. Anyway, so he gets on the dragon and his wife, and they're about to go to King's Landing instead of his mama. So Jacaerys and Baela are flying their big ass dragons into King's Landing. That, remember, his mama was supposed to be the one doing that. So they're flying their dragons, and they realize, actually, at sea, their people are getting fucked at sea. Their people are getting killed at sea, and so they decide to go help. So Abigail says the dragon's coming. But Abigail, remember, Abigail is a smart ass bitch, and she's also a brutal ass bitch. She doesn't play. So Abigail had planned for that. She was like, I know y'all motherfuckers got dragons. So she had built this big ass machine to help kill dragons by sending out big ass spears into the dragon, right? And basically the spear is attached to some cord that drops into the sea. So like she kind of shoots this spear at the dragon, and the spear has a cord attached to it that has an anchor that basically drops at sea. So basically what that's supposed to do is like kind of plant into the dragon and drag the dragon into the water, because it has this anchor that like holds it at sea. All right. So she shoots that, and of course it hits Jacaerys' dragon, because Jacaerys is terrible. He has main character syndrome, but he barely knows how to fly that dumbass dragons. I'm lying. He's actually not bad at flying dragons, but just the weapon was good. So the spear hits Jacaerys' dragon, and it's dragging him down. Baela, remember, Jacaerys was flying with Baela, so Baela sees that shit and she's like, nah, you're not about to kill my man like that. So she comes in with her dragon and like cuts the cord that was attached to the spear that was dragging him down. She like comes and flies that shit down, boom, cuts the cord and flies back up, because Baela is also a real ass bitch. So Jacaerys is free, although the spear is still in the dragon. They're flying up, and so Baela basically saved him. So they're going, and so the war in the water is still continuing. But even though they got dragons and the dragons are helping a little bit, Abigail's people are still fucking up Corlys's people, like just fucking them up one boat at a time. And I think the sad thing is Abigail actually succeeds at getting at Corlys's boat and killing Corliss. So Corliss dead. I think so. Sometimes they make you think these people are dead and they revive them in the next episode. But for now, I think Corliss is dead as fuck. R.I.P. Corliss, y'all. Yikes. Anyway, so Corliss is dead. But remember, the dragons are still around. So the dragons are flying, but Abigail got this big ass machine to shoot the dragons down. Out of nowhere, we see a third dragon, and I'm like, where is this dragon coming out of? Turns out the third dragon was actually Reyna. Remember when I was doing the detailing of the family tree? Reyna is Bela's sister. So Reyna is the second daughter of Lena and Damon. I know the names are confusing as fuck, but just look at the family tree if you ever get confused. So out of nowhere, nobody expected it. We didn't even know that bitch could ride a dragon. Out of nowhere, has learned how to ride a dragon and is now flying with a new ass dragon coming out of nowhere to help Bela and Jacaerys. She's not really good at this shit. So her dragon is acting up and it's actually fucking up the game of Bela and Jacaerys. Because Bela and just have their good 1-2 going, right? So they know what to do. They're helping each other out. When Jacaerys is in trouble, Bela's dragon comes and saves, all that shit. And now Reyna comes in with her disturbing ass dragons and her low ass skills, and she's kind of fucking up the game. Now there are 3 dragons and only 2 of them know each other. And so that third dragon now is also kind of fighting with the dragons of Bela and Jacaerys and kind of disturbing the game. While that whole shit is happening, Abigail is on land and shoots a second spear that hits Jacaerys' dragon again. Of course, it's still Jacaerys, because Jacaerys is just out here acting crazy. Of course, it hits Jacaerys again. Bam! And remember, the spear has like a cord attached to it that drops an anchor into the sea and it's dragging the dragon down. But now, Bela's dragon, who had saved Jacaerys' dragon the first time, is confused as fuck because now there are 3 dragons and he don't recognize the third dragon and whatever. And so he's confused, and so Bela doesn't have a fast enough reaction time to go and help Jacaerys, and Jacaerys' dragon drowns, yo. Jacaerys' dragon drowns, and Jacaerys manages to get himself off his dragon and swim back to the surface. But the minute Jacaerys gets to the surface, he looks up, and Abigail's troops are looking at him like, welcome back, nigga, and shoots him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Bam, 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 bam. And Jacaerys is dead too. This time, this one is for sure. I'm not sure if Corliss is dead, but I know for sure that Jacaerys is dead as fuck. And to be honest, I don't mind. He locked his mama in the room, remember? I know his mama would not have gotten into this BS. It would have been difficult, but she would not have gotten into this BS. So Jacaerys' dragon is dead, and Jacaerys is dead. R.I.P. Jacaerys. Yikes. Yeah, and I think that's where episode 3 ends. Yo, this was a concise ass summary. Let me know how I did. I think I covered everything. Let me know what you think. I don't think I missed anything, but let me know in the comment if I missed anything. I don't think so, but please let me know if I did, and let me know if you're enjoying this shit, because I am having a great ass time watching this show. This is one of the most anticipated shows for me this year, and I don't care if I get 5 views or 5,000 views. I'm going to review every episode of this shit because this is a good time. Anyway, as always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review. Peace.